Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something every single one of us deals with, those big, sometimes really confusing feelings. We're going to map out a super simple way to understand what they're trying to tell you, how to handle them, and how to use that knowledge to become a kinder, wiser person. You know that feeling, right? That huge wave of anger or sadness or worry that just washes over you and feels completely overwhelming. It's totally normal, and today we're going to figure out how to navigate it together. Okay, this right here, this is maybe the most important thing to remember. Your feelings aren't the problem. Think of them more like messengers. They're just signals trying to tell you that something's going on or that you need something. And once you start listening to those signals instead of fighting them, honestly, everything starts to change. So how do we actually learn to listen to these signals? Well, we're going to walk through a simple but really powerful 3-step plan for building up your emotional intelligence, or EQ. Let's call it your new emotional superpower. And here it is, super simple. Name it, tame it, and aim it. This little framework is your guide for any feeling, big or small. It's easy to remember, and it really works. So let's break down each step. All right, let's dive into our first and probably most crucial step. Name it. This is all about just figuring out what's going on. I mean, you can't really work with an emotion until you know what it is, right? And you know what's so cool about this is that long before your brain puts a word to a feeling, your body is already reacting. It's sending out all these little physical signals. And get this, just naming the feeling, saying I feel angry or I feel anxious, can actually help calm down the alarm center in your brain. So learning to read your body's signals is a seriously powerful first move. Do any of these sound familiar? A heart that starts beating super fast when you're nervous? A tight jaw when you're frustrated? Or maybe heavy shoulders when you're feeling down? These are the clues your body is giving you. Just noticing them is step 1. Now, a fantastic way to practice this is with something called emotion cards. They're basically like flashcards for your feelings. They help you connect the dots between the name of an emotion, the physical signals it causes, and, this is the important part, what you might actually need when you're feeling that way. Let's see how this works in real life. Take this card for anger. On the front, you've got the feeling and its signals, like a hot face or clenched fists. Then you flip it over, and you've got tools to help you calm down, plus a reminder of what you might really need in that moment. Maybe some fairness, or maybe just a little bit of space. It's so simple, but so incredibly helpful. Okay, so once you've named the feeling, you've already taken back some control. Now we can move on to step 2, tame it. This is all about calming your body and mind down so you can actually think clearly again. Think of it like you have this personal toolbox just for your emotions. And the whole trick is picking the right tool for the job. You wouldn't use a hammer to fix a leaky pipe, would you? It's the same idea with your feelings. So when a feeling is really intense, you need something that works fast. These are your body tools. They're designed to physically calm you down. Something like the 4-6 breath, where you just breathe in for 4 seconds and out for 6, can literally soothe your nervous system in just a minute. But hey, taming an emotion isn't just about your body. We also need tools for our minds. These thinking tools help us change the stories we're telling ourselves, to shift away from that negative spiral and towards something a little more helpful and a lot more kind. Okay, this one right here, this is such a game changer, the yet rewrite. Just adding that one tiny word yet completely transforms a statement of defeat into a statement of growth. I can't do this feels like a dead end, but I can't do this yet? Well, that's a whole different story. So we've named the feeling, we've calmed ourselves down, and now we're ready for the really powerful final step. Aim it. This is where we take all that emotional energy and we point it towards something positive, something good for ourselves, and for other people too. And really, the step is all about empathy. But empathy isn't just about feeling bad for someone. It's about trying to imagine how they actually feel and then choosing a helpful action. It's that critical combo, feeling plus doing. So how do we actually do that? Here's the first of 3 super simple but incredibly powerful phrases. Just saying, it makes sense you feel frustrated immediately lets the other person know you're listening. You're not necessarily agreeing, you're just acknowledging their reality. It tells them, I see you, and your feeling is valid. This one is my absolute favorite. This question is a total superpower because it stops you from trying to guess what your friend needs. It lets them tell you what would actually help most right now, someone to just listen or someone to help them figure out solutions. And finally, this simple, warm offer. It's so direct, it's kind, and it puts the power back in their hands to tell you what they need. It shows you're not just saying you care, you're ready to show up with real practical support. Phew, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's do a really quick recap and add just a couple more tools to your growing EQ toolkit. So, beyond those in the moment strategies, these two tools are for building a deeper understanding over time. A feelings to needs map can help you see that when you feel sad, maybe what you really need is comfort. And a reflection journal is like your own personal science lab for your emotions, where you can track what happened, what helped, and get smarter for next time. And just a quick word on using modern tools. An AI buddy can actually be great for helping you find the right feeling words or brainstorm calming ideas. But the rules here are super simple and really important. Never ever share your private personal info and never pretend the AI's work is your own. Just use it as a helpful tool, not a substitute for your own heart and mind. And that's really the big takeaway here. Learning to name, team, and aim your feelings isn't about trying to get rid of them. It's about understanding them. And that understanding, that skill, it makes you stronger, it makes you wiser, and it makes you kinder, both to yourself and to everyone around you. So, as we wrap up, I have a question for you. What's the one tool from today that you're going to try to practice first? Whether it's the 4-6 breath, that yet rewrite, or one of those empathy lines, the most important thing is to just start. You've got this.